Hey, this is Kim. Thanks for joining me for today's video. The topic for today's video is managing your time versus energy. It's a slight departure from all the planning stuff that I've been doing lately, but still connected in terms of productivity, lifestyle, and just making our lives flow as best as we possibly can. This video is in collaboration with Estela from the Minimal Sophisticate. If you have not checked her out, I highly encourage you to check out her channel as well as her Instagram feed because she posts some amazing content always. Guaranteed. So I'll be sure to have her information linked down below as well as the video that's part of this collaboration that the two of us are doing together. So managing time and energy, or time versus energy, is such a major topic for me. It's something that didn't really come to the forefront of my mind or my life until about maybe 2018 or so. And to give you a little bit of history, I was dealing with some health issues and things back then, and it was really affecting my energy, and I just couldn't figure it out. I didn't understand. I'm like, this can't be what life is like just to get old. But it was really affecting my energy in a major way. So much so that I could guarantee that it would alternate from day to day. So for instance, Monday I'd have high energy, Tuesday completely low energy, Wednesday high energy, Thursday low energy. It was crazy. Turns out there were some vitamin deficiencies and a few other things going on that I was able to correct through nutrition and food and all that good stuff. So thankfully, thank God that I'm doing well now, but it really did bring to the forefront, like I said, for me, the idea of being able to manage our energy as well as managing our time. As planners in the planner community, that's pretty much all we do is manage our time. We try to focus on as many things as we can fit into our 24-hour window each day. And while that's great, and while that sets us up for major productivity and efficiency, sometimes it might be more important to manage your energy over managing your time. So through all those ebbs and flows of energy that I experience, I realized it's important to manage those times as opposed to managing hours on a clock. I decided to try to work within my means instead of fighting against myself. Because if I fought against, those low energy days, I would be wiped out for 2 to 3 days afterwards. All because I did too much with the little bit of energy reserve I had at the moment. And whether or not you're experiencing health issues or anything of the sort, I feel like this topic is majorly important for everyone. It's important to recognize your energy levels and work within your means so that you're not burning yourself out. And I know we hear about that a lot, especially in the YouTube community with people who make content and all that other stuff. But in life in general, burnout exists. It's a thing. It's very real. It's very real. I think from March of 2020 onward now, we really know that burnout is possible. So it's important to manage the energy reserves that we have so that we don't experience those times of burnout. So the three main tasks, or the three main priorities that I focus on when aiming to manage my energy versus managing my time, the first one is to work within my certain energy levels. For instance, I have to realize that there will be days where I have high energy, there will be days I have low energy, and then there will be days where I have moderate or medium energy. So having a plan for those days was most effective for me, and I do truly feel like it will be most effective for all of us. So if there's a low energy day, that doesn't necessarily mean do nothing. That just means do those tasks or those things that don't require a lot out of you. They don't require a lot from you physically. They don't even require a lot from you mentally, maybe. So group certain tasks according to your energy level. For those medium or moderate energy level days, that's when you can do your basic day-to-day items. So it's not entirely important to maybe set up a list of tasks for those days, but just to be aware of what things you can accomplish on days like that. And for your high energy days, those are the times that you really want to focus on doing those things that do require a lot of mental and intellectual stimulation from you, or things that require a lot of physical energy from you. And that way, as life happens and things go up and down, you're still covered. So on the low energy days, you're getting things done. On the medium energy days, you're getting things done. On the high energy days, you're getting things done. It's gonna happen, you know, you're not wasting any time. And I think that's most important for those of us who like to feel as though we're being productive. We don't ever wanna feel like we're wasting time. Side note, there are times where I choose to waste time, but that's a little bit different, where I choose, you know, maybe a day of recovery, rest and recovery, where I want to do nothing. But I'm not talking about those times. I'm talking about the times where you really feel like you want to do something productive with your life. The second tip I have, or the second priority I tried to focus on, was to reassess the expectations that I set on myself. I can't do it all. None of us can. None of us can do it all. We only have this one set of 24 hours. I know there's that meme that talks about, you know, Beyonce doesn't have the same 24 hours that we have. And maybe that is true. But I only have this Kim number of 24 hours. I can only do so much. So I had to really pull it back, rein it in, and be very realistic about those things that I could accomplish within the time that I have allotted. So the number one thing I did that helped me do this tremendously, and I still do it to this day, was I pulled it back, went back to the basics. When you are a planner and you're kind of starting out your planning journey, or how you like to organize and manage your time, you really do hear a lot of times, only set 3 priorities for each day. So within that, that's what I kind of did. I would set a certain number of priorities for the day. I did those, and if there were other things I could fit in, I threw those in as well. But I think the thing that helped me the most, I significantly limited the amount of space I had for my weekly tasks. If you've seen my planning system, I do use monthlies, weeklies, and dailies. So on my weekly, it's kind of like a dashboard for my week, what I want to happen, the timed events, the appointments, things of that nature. I'll also put in the workouts that I might have planned, or the dinners that I might have planned. And on that dashboard as well, I'll include a list of tasks that I'd like to get done during that week that aren't necessarily day specific. And in the past, I found that I was adding way too many tasks to that list, an unrealistic amount of tasks to that weekly list. I mean, I would have like 20 tasks on there on Monday. And we all know life happens. So the number of tasks you have on Monday can significantly multiply by like Wednesday or Thursday when just other things come up in your life. So I really had to limit the amount of tasks I would put in that little spot that I have on my weekly dashboard. So much so that I decreased the actual space that I would allot for that spot on my weekly layout, so that I could only include 7, maybe 8 things. And that's total. From Monday through Sunday, 7 to 8 tasks, that's it. If it doesn't fit on those weeklies, and if I don't fit it into my dailies after my priorities for the day are completed, it's not happening. It'll just happen next week. And I'll put it on something that I call like a monthly task list, or my inbox, or just put it someplace else. Sometimes I even delete it. And if it comes up again, it comes up again. If it doesn't, it's something I didn't need to worry about in the first place. But reassessing those expectations I was placing on myself was a major key in helping me to work within the energy that I had. Also, with making that shortened weekly task list, I tapped into the ability or the need to delegate certain tasks. I realized that everything didn't have to happen by me. Other people could do it, and it would get done well, maybe not as well as I might have done it, but well enough for life to go on. For example, I stopped going to the grocery store. I know it sounds weird, and for some people, the grocery store is like your haven. It's where you go for peace and solace. Not for me. I cannot stand going to the grocery store. Just don't like it. So I delegated that task to the delivery services that would just bring me my groceries. We can go into a long, drawn out conversation about why this actually works. It might help you with your budget because you stick within the budget you've established. It helps you stick to your list and all that other stuff. And then there's the issue of whether or not you want someone else picking out your produce. But aside from all that, that's just another one of the tasks that I chose to delegate. So I wiped it off of my actual task list, because going to the grocery store, finding time in my day to actually get there was a lot harder than actually just sitting down at the computer and adding things to my shopping basket online so that it could be delivered at the time that I choose within my schedule. And with that, with delegating tasks, it's also important to analyze the cost of delegating those tasks. So if you hate cleaning your home, and if you feel like you need to hire someone to come in and clean your home every week, every couple of weeks, and of course that's an added expense, but is it really less? You know, is it a less value or less, how do I explain it? So the value of having a clean home might be far greater than the dollar amount you actually have to pay to get it done. Using the grocery example, if it costs about $10 to have my groceries delivered, and I can probably find some coupons and things to cancel out that $10 anyway, but if it costs $10 to have my groceries delivered, it's worth it. That $10 is worth it for me to not have to physically go to the grocery store. If it's worth paying somebody like $85, $100, I don't know, to come and clean up a few areas in your home every 2 to 3 weeks, it might be really worth it to you. So it's important to assess value and the true cost that these items that you're delegating would take out of your budget, and not only your monetary budget, but also your physical budget, your energy budget. It's important to analyze the value of those things. I hope that makes sense. And the third thing that was highly important in helping me to manage my energy was really to be gentle on myself. I mentioned earlier that I do take days for rest and recovery. I call them Kim days. And it's a day that I do whatever the heck I want to do. If I don't want to clean, I'm not cleaning. If I don't want to answer emails, I'm not doing that. If I don't want to work, I'm not working. I'm doing whatever I want to do. And it really does feel like it's recharging me, and it's helping me to be a better Kim. It's helping me to be a better mother, a better wife, just a better support system for those around me and those involved in my life. I have to feed into myself and pour into myself before I can be a help to others. So I needed to really be gentle on myself and understand that those days or those times where you're doing nothing necessarily, it's not wasted time. You're really re-energizing yourself. I mentioned this in a previous Instagram post. Please do check that out if you haven't already. And I have been posting journaling prompts for each month. I've only done January and February so far, but I'm posting them over on my Instagram page as well. And I talked about how I did take a Kim day. I had a day planned, and we needed to do a few like dental appointments, doctor's appointments. Things got switched around and changed, and none of that was happening on that day. So then I was like, well, do I want to go to work? Of course I don't want to, but like, should I just go to work? And then I was like, no, I'm just gonna take a Kim day, and I'm gonna do those things that pour back into me. I was feeling a little bit, on E at the time, so I just took some time to do what I wanted to do. And journaling is a huge part of that for me. I do have a video all about the journaling challenge that I went on, and I'm still going strong. I'll have that linked for you if you're interested in that as well. And part of being gentle on myself is not only taking like full days for rest and recovery, but also taking breaks throughout my day. I think it's highly important, if you have busy days, which we all often do, to schedule in some buffer time, is what I call it. So it's time maybe between tasks, time between meetings, between appointments, between whatever, but it's a little bit of downtime that you can get back to yourself. A little bit of downtime, and you can recenter and refocus for yourself. And whatever you choose to do in that 15 to 30 minutes, that's your business. If you want to scroll on Instagram, if you want to pin some things on Pinterest, if you want to read a little bit, whatever you want to do is what you want to do. But schedule in those periods of break, those periods where you kind of let your brain relax, kind of let things mellow out a bit, like a mini recharge, so that the next thing that comes up on your calendar or in your agenda, you're on top of it and you're ready to tackle it. So be gentle on yourself. That's still a lesson I'm continuously learning. I feel like you'll never fully master it as long as you're alive. But it's something that you want to focus on and make sure you're doing for yourself over the long haul. And when I discussed grouping your tasks into or grouping them based on energy level, I did think this would be a great idea or a great use for task cards. I know if you're in the planner community, you are familiar with a task card, but it's normally, if you're not, it's something where you have reminders for yourself of the recurring tasks or the regular tasks that you need to take care of. So if you want to make your list for low, moderate, and high energy days, you can easily put those on task cards. So for your low energy day, maybe you have something on there like, all I'm gonna do is answer emails. Maybe that doesn't take a lot of, mental stimulation from you, and that's all you're gonna do on low energy days. Maybe on your high energy days, you might do something, maybe if you need to do a lot of writing on those kinds of days, that would be your high energy list. So you'll have those task cards to pull from and to draw from if maybe you need a little bit of inspiration because you can't figure out what exactly to do with the time and with the energy that you have at hand. I sincerely hope this video has been helpful for you. I feel like it's a very important concept as we are navigating this life around us and this world to really consider our own personal energy. And of course we love to manage our time, but it's equally important or sometimes more important, depending on your season of life, to manage the energy that you have available so that you just don't burn yourself out, like I mentioned earlier, so that you don't run yourself into the ground in the pursuit of being productive, So that was my main goal for this video, and I hope that is something that has helped you. Again, please do not forget to head over to Estela's channel to check out her video all about managing time versus energy. I'll have it linked down below, and I'll also have her Instagram page linked as well. Like I said, she has some amazing content that she posts regularly. It's things that you don't want to miss. And Estela truly helps to drive home that there's a human aspect behind all of us that you see in front of the screen, or those that talk about planning and being productive. There's still a human aspect to us. We still have things going on in our everyday lives that we have to manage, loved ones that we have around us, and she gives us a very real approach to how that is managed in her life. She has a very full plate, but still manages to pump out amazing content and productivity tips without missing a beat. Please make sure you check her out. Thank you so much for watching today's video. If you have any questions, please feel free to put them down below and I'll get right back to you. Also, if there's anything I mentioned in the video, I have it linked in the description box. And don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you so much again for watching today's video, and I'll see you in the next one.